Hello, this is Barry, and you're watching Barry and the PI. Be sure to subscribe, like, comment, and even share with your friends or enemies. It's a cloudy day here. It just had some rain, but it's the first day I've been able to do a video out by the waterfall. There's Lily, she's doing good. She's exploring, getting a little water. She has clean water in the house and a bowl in the house, but she prefers this. All right, today I'm going to talk about my childhood growing up in Austin, Texas. I was born in Port Arthur, Texas, which is not a very nice place. It's on the coast, has a beach, but it's got lots of oil refineries there. And my father was an electrician with one of those refineries. Prior to me being born, my dad had worked in Saudi Arabia putting electricity in the Saudi oil fields, and he was paid good money for that. Both of my parents were country folks, as we'd say. They born in and grew up in deep East Texas. My mother, she was born in a little town near Vidor, Texas, out in the country. We used to go visit her parents. They were country folks. They didn't have a house. It was just a ramshackle house. No indoor plumbing, no indoor water, restrooms. You had to go to an outhouse at night when it had to go. And visiting them when I was young, they were nice to me, but my grandfather was always scared I was going to get into something or break something. He said, don't let Barry get out there and do that. No, don't let him go wandering around the neighborhood. And stuff like that. As I say, when you kind of lunchtime, dinner time, you had to go get wash your hands in a little pail of a bowl of water before and after dinner or lunch. I think they had come from, they were originally, their parents came over from Scotland. So they had and I think they settled in Appalachia there for a while. And they had the unusual dialect. Hard to understand them sometimes. They talked real slow, but they were nice. And then other times we would go on a trip to visit my father's parents. My grandmother on my father's side, she was a nice old lady. She was a housewife. Her husband worked for the railroad as an engineer for the railroad company. And they lived in Beaumont. So every summer we would go and visit one or the other of them. And visit with my aunts and uncles. And, then, We used to do that. That's about every summer we would go and do that. And as I got up a little older, probably 8 or 9, we stopped doing that. We didn't go to visit my father's brothers and sisters and my cousins and stuff. Turns out he had a falling out with his brothers and sisters over some land that was left to us by our great-great-granddad, Nathan Brookshire. He settled in Texas in 1835, before Texas was even a state. He had founded the town of Brookshire-Texas, and which is a little bit north of Houston. And he was kind of a Texas hero. He fought in Texas War with Mexico, and he had been a lieutenant in the Texas Army and Texas Rangers. I think he was a Ranger too. At one time, he had gotten into leading a squad, and they came across a band of Comanche Indians, and a battle ensued. His captain was killed in this skirmish, and he took over to lead the squad, and they finally chased the Indians on out. So there's a lot of history in Texas of the Brookshires. On my mother's side, we had one aunt and uncle. His name was Con, and my mother's sister, he married my mother's sister, Opal, and they had 3 kids. Connie, who now goes by the name of Joy. Hello, Connie. She and I were close cousins, and Opal and Con moved to Austin. By the time I was in junior high. Hey, slow down. Hey, I'm talking here. And Connie and I were, she was a little bit younger than me, but we were close. And Sharon, she was the beauty of the family. She was really pretty growing up. I always thought she was going to go off and become a famous model or a movie star. And they, as I said, they lived in Austin with where we did. So I used to visit with them quite often. After I got out of the Navy, came back to Austin and started in University of Texas. Connie would kind of, Barry, I've got a girl that she needs a date for the prom. And of course, sure, I'll go with it. So he picks me up. Connie was a very smart girl. And she went to the Rice University, and she married a guy that was on the College Bowl team that set a record number of points, the wins in the College Bowl. That's Some of y'all might remember that series on TV. And she married the guy that was on that, and they moved to Chicago. And I think she became the head of the library system there in Chicago. I haven't seen her in a long time. I saw Sharon. I think, moved back to Austin. She's a lawyer now. She was living up in New York for a while. So my roots are in East Texas, but my heart is in West Texas. I have spent a lot of time, my adult life, in West Texas, working on geology projects, or when I became a teacher and taught at Presidio High School. I love West Texas. And if it was, other than the Philippines, if we didn't move to the Philippines, I probably would have convinced somebody to move to West Texas. So, especially around Big Bend. So, that's where I came from. That's the story of my young life. Oh, I forgot to read. That land that was left to us by Nathan Brookshire, well, it became quite expensive. And after we moved into our house in Austin, I had retired, and we bought a house, an older home, built in 1975, and we liked the house, but it needed a lot of upgrading. One time I got a call from this lawyer in Houston, and he said, your land that was left to you and your brother and Larry, they were the family's wanting to sell it. And they have an offer. Now, my father had gotten cheated out of a whole bunch of that land. That's why he stopped going to see his brothers and sisters, our aunts. So the land is appreciated. Pretty good, yeah. But we only got just I think 6 acres. And that was to be divided up between myself and Larry. Well, Larry is wealthy. He didn't need the money, so he gave that money to one of his sons, his first son, Ross, my nephew, and he's become very, very good, close to me, and he's helped me a lot. And Ellie'd come over and let's go over to the bar, pool hall. And I'd go over there, and he'd introduce me to all his friends there as Uncle Barry. So that's what they call me, Uncle Barry. And I'd sit there, and he played pool. He's a good pool player. He participates in pool tournaments. So he's a good pool player. And I'm waiting for him to come and visit. I've been here over 3 years now, and neither him or my brother have come and visited me. So, Larry, if you see this, get yourself over here, you and Sonny. And Ross, you and Nicole, get over here. Good, now's a good time. You don't have to worry about vaccines and stuff right now. So I'm hoping he's going to come see us soon. And some of you will get to meet him if you're around. Well, that's about it. I just thought I'd tell you, ramble on, rambling of the old man. So y'all take care. Be sure to subscribe. I had over 1,000 views on one of my videos. Why don't I have 1,000 subscribers? It doesn't cost you anything. And you get notified every time I put out a video. So you don't miss any of my exciting videos. So take care, stay safe, take care of your family, your pets, and help your neighbors when you can. And we'll see you again soon, maybe tomorrow.